Los Angeles, the city of angels, where dreams are woven into the fabric of its sprawling streets. In this land of star-studded aspirations, a young life was extinguished, leaving behind a haunting mystery that continues to cast a shadow over the city. There lived Jody Lynn Bartmess with a heart full of promise. She embarked on a journey to carve out her place in the world, her dreams illuminating the path ahead. Yet, on a fateful day in 1990, the vibrant spirit of Jody met a chilling and untimely end, sending shockwaves through the community. In a parking lot adjacent to a dumpster, her lifeless body was discovered, forever altering the lives of those who knew her and leaving an indelible mark on the city she called home. At just 22, her life was taken in a cruel act of violence. Multiple stab wounds, a chilling testament to the brutality she endured. As detectives combed through the evidence and pieced together fragments of a shattered reality, they embarked on a quest to untangle the web of secrets that concealed the truth. Los Angeles at that time already had lots of crimes going on. It was not uncommon to find a dumped, murdered, dead body. It was a city filled with crime where sirens wailed as often as hearts beat. Jody Lynn Bartmess became another sad part of a painful story. What Jody was wearing, she didn't look like a street worker. Street workers are more prone to get involved in crimes. There were a lot of stab wounds, but where she was lying, there were not bloodstains at all. It was now determined that she was murdered somewhere else and then dumped here. Detectives starts their investigation by asking out the neighborhood of where the body of Jody was found, if anyone saw or hear anything suspicious. According to one neighbor, he heard a loud scream. When he came out, he saw a car pass by his house. It was a late model Ford, and that's all he knew. There were so much murders in LA at that time that it took 6 days for a post-mortem report. It was determined that she was alive during the time she was dumped. It is painful to know that she was alive at that time with over 30 stab wounds in her body. She was bearing so much pain and then eventually died. Only clue that detectives had at this time was a late model Ford. There were thousands of late model Ford in LA County alone, so this information was not enough to move forward with the investigation. Until the mother of Jody came to the police station. She told that Jody left her house at the age of 16 to see the bright light of the city of Los Angeles. Jody had big dreams of becoming an actress. She called her mom one day, telling her that she will become an actress as one of her friend Larry Jameson was helping her. Her mom had her suspicion to this guy as he was an older guy and could be dating Jody or taking advantage of her. The detectives started looking for this Larry Jameson. He had a video rental company. His shop was located not far away from where the body of Jody was found. The shop was close and he was not at his home. Basically, Larry Jameson was missing now, as he is nowhere to be found. After a few days, detectives found that Larry is in custody for another unrelated crime. He told that he had no involvement in her murder. He further added that she was hanging around other kids who party a lot every night. Jody was not raped. She was stabbed to death and her wounds were deep, which shows pure anger and rage. She had two types of wounds. One was clear-cut and deep. The other was rough and not that deep. This made detectives determine that they may be looking for two killers. Detectives then searched for people who were hanging out with Jody. They started looking at girls around same age as Jody at the area where her body was discovered. Detective met a woman who told her name Maya. She immediately remembers when she saw the picture of Jody, but was really reluctant to talk to. Detective noticed that she had some strange way of lighting her cigarette. She would use her ear pin to make holes in the cigarette filter before igniting it. She further told that she and Jody used to hang out at a party in the house that was down the street. The detective knew that Maya was hiding something, but he focused on that house where Jody was last seen. It was the house of Tommy. When detectives asked if they could have a look at his house, he clearly denied it. Officers got no choice but to come back with a search warrant. They came back with a search warrant and searches the house. It looked like a lot of people have party here, as there were many cigarette butts, beer bottles, and garbage in the room, except for one room that looked strangely cleaned. This cleaned room made detectives more suspicious. When searches thoroughly, they found blood at the corner of room. Detectives knew that what they're looking is a crime scene where Jody was murdered. Tommy was taken into custody, but he waived his rights and chose not to speak with detectives. Meanwhile, when detective looked at the cigarette butts found in the Tommy's house, He recognized that it was from Maya, as she always make holes in this cigarette filter. Maya was now taken into custody for further questioning. The forensics have made a discovery that the knife used to kill Jody was one knife, as one piece of the knife was broken into the skull of Jody, so the other stab wounds were made by that damaged knife. This is the reason it looked like two different types of stab wounds. After hours of interrogation, Maya finally tells the truth. She told that she was with Jody, and they went to Tommy's home where there was a party with many people. Everybody was smoking and drinking. One guy named Indio was there too. He got into some kind of an argument with Jody, where he said that she stole something from him. Then he got angry and started stabbing Jody to death. She was scared and didn't do anything. Then Maya, Tommy, and Indio together carried Jody out in the car and then dumped her at the parking lot. Detectives then went to Indio to arrest him, but he fled away. However, he was caught by other unit due to unrelated crime. When asked about Jody, he clearly denied any involvement in Jody's murder. Police only had witness at that time. There was no murder weapon, which means they need more to convict him of murder. What's more painful is that there were many people in that house when Indio was stabbing Jody, but nobody came forward and saved her. Nobody even called ambulance so that she could have some kind of medical assistance which would save her life. Police then checked the belongings of Indio. There they find a pocket knife which was broken from its tip. Just like forensics claimed, the knife was broken during stabbing. It was the same knife that was used to murder Jody. Police now have a complete case. Indio is now arrested and charged for the murder of Jody Lynn Bartmess. Support us for more videos.